Once upon a time, there was a world full of laughter. Then a virus hit, and the whole thing was a disaster. But we got a show to let you know it's alright. It's alright. Even though it's only once a week, we guarantee you a front row seat at the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show once a week.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Comedy Cellar Nightly Show. My name is Dave Juskow, and we bring this show to you every Tuesday, stop it, Rachel, at 7 o'clock and 4 o'clock Western time, as they believe they call it now. But yes, we are here for you, and please, as normal, hit the donate button if you like it in the chat room, or tell us something that our producer, Mike, will let us know that we would respond to while we're doing the show. I hope everybody is doing well. On Friday, April 2nd, the Comedy Cellar will come back live with shows actually at the Comedy Cellar and the Village Underground. So we are back in business. Yes, only 33%, whatever that is. And by the way, I will be down there making sure it's exactly 33% full. And if there's a 34%, I will be there and I will say something to the cops. But other than that, April 2nd is the big day of the reopening. But right now we have this show always at 7 o'clock. We also open the upstairs. The Olive Tree does, you can have dinner with the comics and support the place as well until we reopen again on April 2nd. All right, let us start the show with the prepared material as always. On Sunday, Meghan Markle did an interview with Oprah, and Meghan told Oprah that a member of the royal family asked Harry how dark their child would be. A royal spokesman denied this account and said the entire royal family does not care about what the child's skin color was as long as he wasn't Jewish. Thank you. Harry and Meghan were reportedly paid $7 million for the interview. The couple stated they would give the money to charity after they mysteriously die in 3 months. And finally, New York Governor Cuomo announced that the qualifying age for a vaccine will be reduced from 65 to 60. He decided to make the change because the woman he's trying to bang has a 60-year-old grandmother. But you all right, well, let's introduce our panel this evening after that fine brand of comedy. You can see her every Sunday on her interactive online comedy show she does with the great Jessica Kirson entitled We're Not Okay. On April 2nd, she will be appearing in a new documentary entitled Hysterical on the FX network. Please welcome Rachel Feinstein, everybody.
I just came to get puss nasty.
And he is a New York radio legend who for 17 years was a staple at Hot 97 FM. Although music and DJing will always be in his blood, he is now a successful stand-up comic who is part of our Comedy Cellar brethren. He also has the distinction of creating the first hip-hop podcast before podcasting was cool. His current podcast is now entitled One EP is Dead, or it could be One Ep, sorry, which can be found on all of your streaming platforms. Please welcome Cypha Sounds.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow. I love research done on me and then incorrect facts in the research.
Well,
One EP was One EP was a disaster.
No, it's One Ep. One
I
Ep
know,
because it's short.
One EP though.
Right, he fucked it up. And it's for short for Juan Epstein.
Yeah.
One Epstein from Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah, that's where because it's me, a Puerto Rican, and my co-host is Jewish. So it's Juan Epstein, but we didn't want to get sued, so we shortened it to One Ep.
Oh, and now it's okay. That's what I was going to ask you, because the thing was called One Ep, and now it's called One Ep is Dead. So after he died, you changed. Now it all makes sense. Yeah. Well, I was pretty close. Anyway, also, of course, as always, our friend Colin Smith is joining us. Of course, you know his brand new single, Is It Ever Now, available on iTunes, and you can follow him on all social media accounts at Colin Smith Music. Hello, Colin.
Hi.
That's your real
Colin
name?
is the original Poon Wrangler. His puss numbers don't lie.
Yeah. And you know how I know he's a puss hound? Because no one's real last name is Smith. That's just the name you use when you check into a seedy motel.
Excellent point.
You're so
Excellent
right.
point.
Yeah, I have platinum points at Motel 6.
Yeah.
It's true. For Cypha and me and Rachel, we don't know anybody named Smith except you.
Not
Yeah.
real.
I know. And one time he texted me by accident. I think he was meant to text one of his godless whores, and he said, "Please oil yourself before I come over. I want to be able to slam and leave briskly because I have another bitch to slam into." And I was like, "Oh, it's me." And he was like, "Oh my God, this is so embarrassing."
Right.
Yeah.
Had you already oiled up by the time
I was already greased and ready. I was just sitting on my bed, fully greased, just ready to be punished the way I deserve to be.
And speaking of which, Colin, would you please show us the wife beater? Everybody wants to see it. I get
Oh yeah, sure.
texts all the time.
No
like,
problem.
Whoa,
I did
whoa. What kind
I
of
did
show?
I did a couple pushies just special for the right before we came on. Here we go. Here we
There
go.
it is,
Little
ladies.
action there.
Look at this.
I don't like this show at all. I don't like this at all.
Well, we just give the public what they want, Cypha. I mean, that's
Oh, yeah.
what it comes down to.
As a matter of fact, let's go to a caller. I want to get slammed by Colin. Okay.
Hey, who you talking to? Who you talking to on the phone?
So funny.
Cypha, you must have dealt with callers all the time when you were doing your radio show like that all the time, right?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The callers were. It's different now because there's so many different ways to reach people. You know, you could DM them on Instagram and Twitter or email them. But back then, we just had the phone lines, and there was some cuckoos on there.
Yeah.
There was cuckoos. But
You
they were
got-
fun to
do you
talk to.
Do you have a
They were fun to
specific in
talk to
mind?
when you did the overnight shift. Those were the funnest people to talk to.
Oh, I'm probably the last person to listen to those overnight shifts. I listen to the sports station all the time on overnight, and those people are crazy.
Yeah, they're nuts.
They get so angry about the Giants and the Yankees. They're so angry about the Yankees. All the Yankees do is win. They're so angry.
So angry.
They
Always.
should just make a Mets and Jet station, or if you want anger, that'll be that.
Juskow's busy watching Tween Time or The King and I, but
They just bought iCarly to Netflix, and I've been watching that lately. I can't. But let's not
so
talk.
unsettling.
So,
But
no.
Cypha, I Colin the Puss Crusher and Punisher asked you what your craziest moment was with some of those callers, and I feel like it got stepped on. You know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed that.
Yeah. So, well, actually, you're like an amazing storyteller. You always have like a bunch of stories, and you've had a few lives. So you've had your DJ life and your comic life and stuff.
Yeah.
Which of those lives do you think like has given birth to the most stories? Like in your campfire setting?
Definitely my rap life. My DJ rap life was way more exciting than my comic life.
And so, what's the one from like the call-ins that like stands?
There was a lot more people around. I used to have an entourage. You understand that?
Yeah.
I had a guy that carried records, a couple guys that carried records. There was one guy that go around the club looking for loose ladies that wanted to hang out with us. And then even at the radio station, there'd be a guy with me answering the phones. And this is when you first start out on radio, you mess with the people on the phone and you're like, hey, I'm DJing at this club on Saturday. Why don't you come through? We'll hang out. That's how before Tinder, you didn't know what they look like. And I don't want to be rude. I'm not a mean person, but some horrific looking women showed up.
And you would communicate with the woman online, and she sounded fine as fuck, and she would show up jacked up, like, "Hello, I thought it would be nice if you just found your cock in me tonight because
there's a rule. There's a rule on radio. If the nicer the voice, the uglier she's gonna be. It's so weird.
Beautiful. I think it was actually Emily Dickinson that first said that.
It was Edgar Allan Poe.
Cypha, did you do your own actual? Like, I know you were a regular DJ at clubs, but on the radio, were you actually spinning discs that they would call? Like, did you play the music? Did you talk up the tunes?
Yeah.
And then you did. I was curious.
Yeah. Well, there's two for in hip hop radio. There's the guy there's some hours you just talk, do news and current events and blah blah blah, and you play songs out of the computer. And then also there's when you do the mix show, you go into the mix booth and you actually DJ with records. So I was able to do both because I'm very talented. Do you understand that?
Yeah, no, I know.
Very
talented. Like when you were in the morning show at Hot 97, I mean, where you were actually just talking, you weren't actually playing. Somebody else was playing the music.
I did both
at the same time.
Yeah, I did both, and
that's
I
pretty
got.
cool. That's
I
old
school.
I should have got at least. Anymore.
No, they're not anymore. I should have got at least 500,000 a year, and I got shitted on. Is basically what I got.
Well, that's because you're Hispanic. That's the way it goes. You know, Hot 97 was known for not paying anybody.
That is
I know
correct.
that for a fact. I don't know
Mhm.
why I know. I used to know about. I used to love radio. I used to hang around with a lot of radio folk, a lot of the
Yeah.
K-rock folk back in the day and stuff. And I mean, most radio was
Juskow had
poorly
his
paid.
own radio show. It was called Fun with Hanukkah and the World's Oldest Man.
And it was on all year or just at Hanukkah?
It was around. Unfortunately, he wanted it to last all year, but it was a supply and demand issue. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
always thought
it was only an 8-day show.
Right,
It-
right,
yeah.
right.
Rachel, so where are you located? That you're this barn that you're in, this cabin. What is this?
this
What are you
is a
doing?
studio that I'm in right now because I was so scared if something happened because I'm so terrified of Juskow that I was like, I need to leave my home and hire a babysitter and go to some sort of enclosed studio. Because God forbid if like the Wi-Fi goes out or something, Juskow will beat me.
That's all stuff I can understand. It's just that,
Nah.
when you don't show up at all and you show up 15 minutes late for a half-hour show, yeah, that's kind of that's a problem.
With the
Oh,
lovely
geez.
text.
I can understand if your baby's crying in the
Juskow
background.
was an irrational loon, so I was terrified. So I
And
left the
she's
house
right
and I
about
found
that.
an underground bunker.
I am
Please,
irrational.
please don't let this chick lie to us. She doesn't want to be around her child. She finds any excuse to get out of there. You know when back in the day when dads used to be like, hey, I'm going for a pack of cigarettes. Rachel's like, hey, I'm going to go do a Zoom podcast.
I was like, there's a
You're right.
terrifying man. He's in the winter of his life. And my baby was like, Juskow, you're afraid of him? Shit, bitch, you just don't like me.
The winter of his life. Fuck you. She's right, though, I just got vaccinated, by the way.
Did
Of course
you?
he did. They did the threshold just for you.
I'm over
60.
65. I got the Johnson & Johnson one at the
You did?
Javits Center. Yes, and then
Just the one shot.
Yeah, but then I
That's
had yesterday I was in bad shape. I got all the side effects. I couldn't
Really?
move. Yeah, it was bad. But now I
Really?
feel much better.
Good, good, good.
It was just in time for his silver birthday. And we all were so.
I'm a lot older than everybody else, so people forget. My mother and I have used to. I think you were there during the fall. We, when I see her during the week, we were able to actually eat the senior citizen off the senior citizens menu together in October. It was very exciting. And my sister's going to be able to do it soon, but I probably shouldn't mention that because she's watching. Okay, let's look at the multimedia presentation of tonight. Of course, we started with what everybody's talking
in those months
about.
when I was pregnant, all around this
You guys can see this, right?
Yes.
Mhm. Stunning
same
technology.
time. So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title, and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
That was my favorite scene. The pause. What that made me laugh so hard. I don't know why. What the pause and then the and then I don't know whether you guys know, but the next day this happened. I know there's been a lot of speculation over the years, but I'm not gay.
Mm.
What?
Is that funny? I think it's funny.
But
But anyway, speaking of women,
Just
and-
because you love to guzzle a gaggle of cocks per day
Mhm.
doesn't have to make you identify as gay or straight. You're fluid, and that's fine with everybody.
Mhm.
You're just a
You know,
fluid guy that likes to guzzle cock.
Mhm.
I know. a
yeah,
lot
that
of
has
fluid
nothing to do
cock
with your
guzzlers.
sexual orientation. You just
Yeah.
maybe you just like the texture.
It's
Yeah.
a tick. He has
I mean,
like
who
it's a
wouldn't?
tick.
Yeah, it's a tick.
Yeah.
Or a dick, as we say in America.
Yeah. Well, I don't know whether you guys heard this was tweeted yesterday during International Women's Day.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about this, Burger
Oh.
King? Oh, this was for real. They tweeted this: "Women belong in the kitchen" on International Women's Day.
Oh.
The most hilarious. This is a true text. 198,000 likes. But what was supposed to happen was it was supposed to be that one, and then the next one, this was supposed to be like sex. Now that I have your attention, and then they were supposed to be like, if they want to, of course. And
Right.
they're trying to make a play for like being
Nah.
chefs, but
Nah.
it completely backfired because somebody screwed up and this didn't come out until later, the second part.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
and
god.
boy, are they getting some major backlash They really. And
why would I never understand how these corporations approve stuff like this. I don't get it. This happens all the time.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Dumb.
It's a young kid who's just going, what if we just say women belong in the kitchen? What do you say? No, let me finish. And then
but the thing is, he doesn't explain. Some young kid is explaining to the heads of the corporation or whoever it is,
right?
And the joke and the next tweet makes sense. He didn't tell them it was going to be separate tweets at different times.
You're right. The head honcho didn't get the irony.
They don't. Yeah, they don't know.
Kid, some young up and comer, puss crusher like Colin, and he had a fun idea. But then some old guy named Hank Juskow didn't know how to execute it.
Well, the old guy like me, Juskow, would have said, "Women belong in the kitchen." I love it. Let's go with it. Oh, you can't just print. Oh, there's more.
It stands alone.
Yeah.
But
speaking of that, so this Cypha, you'll like this. WABC Radio, which is for old men like myself. They this was the ad in the Post. Everything I'm saying right now is old. You were talking about WABC Radio and the fact that I actually read the newspaper every day. I cut this out myself. They had a big ad for International Women's Day with all these women on it. You can see this, right? WABC Radio. The funniest part was that when you scroll to the bottom, when it was scrolled, but it's the ad for Joe Piscopo, Sunday Nights with Sinatra. I say that's one of the worst advertising things since that Burger King thing came out the exact same day. Not only is it International Women's Day, but it's also Joe Piscopo Sunday night.
Sinatra, who definitely respected women
a lot.
Yeah, right.
Like a lot.
I remember when he first explained to me that if you have an opinion, you're supposed to get beat with the opinion stick on account of you deserve it.
See, Rachel
stroked my cheek all soft like.
Wait, hold on. You're talking about the Sinatra that ladies always had to run away from at night when they kept the Rat Pack kept them out too late.
Right. Yes, that's so we're talking about them. And then, I was talking about Bob Hope, that the great Dave Thomas does the imitation of Bob Hope, told this story on Gilbert's podcast where Bob Hope, if you didn't have sex with him when he would bring girls to Vietnam to do the USO tours, he'd leave them in Vietnam. He'd be like, go fuck yourself. You can find your own way home, jerk off.
Wow.
These are our national treasures. But speaking of women, this made me very furious. For the first time, girls were eligible to be Eagle Scouts, and nearly 1,000 earned the yearly rank. Well, I don't like this, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
First of all, this girl looks like the girl from Different Strokes, so it's freaking me out. But here's the thing.
Dana Plateau?
Exactly.
I love that you knew.
Cypha.
Yeah, you're right.
And she's supposed to be dead, so it's freaking me out. Here's the problem, Rachel. You remember this photo at all?
Yes.
This is Rachel and her lovely husband in San Francisco at a show. And my friend from elementary school, who I'm still friends with to this day, Rich Duffy, and his wife came to see them. Rich Duffy is the original Eagle Scout, as you can see in this clipping from 1982. Wow. That's right. Here's the funny thing. I just saw this today. This is Kurt Padovano. Now, I don't know him. But if he's related to Ted Padovano, which could be cool because he was in our high school, it would make sense. Ted Padovano was known for having a huge cock in high school. And they actually referred to him as Ted Pananino because he had a 9-inch cock.
Right,
that's fun. What a fun pun. Am I right?
Come on, 1980.
I'm just saying. But anyway, Rich Duffy became an Eagle Scout, newspaper worthy, because that's how hard it is to do. And he joined the Eagles. He joined the Weeblos when he was obviously in 6th grade or 5th grade. Look how, right? This is a long time ago. And it took him 6 years to get to the rank, to get the award. There's his mom who just passed away. She was amazing. And he got the award. 6 years. The girls that were able to they could only join the Boy Scouts in 2019. That means they're just giving out Eagle Scouts award 2 years later. I'm sorry this bothers me.
Yeah.
Disgrace.
You're not down with current times, are you, Jessica?
I guess I'm not down if they're making an easy way to Eagle Scout. This guy had to spend 6 years making sure that duty and honor and courage.
No, well, women work faster.
I guess so. Apparently,
that's true. And even though our brains aren't made proper, we can catch up with the right support. Sometimes I try to think thoughts and stuff, but then my tits get confused.
This
Oh.
50 years ago yesterday, 50 years ago exactly
Wow.
yesterday was the fight of the century,
Wow.
Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. It was the major scene of the time. Everybody was there, including everybody's favorite,
Joe
a
Piscopo.
woman beater.
Hey, Frank wasn't a woman beater.
Oh, I'm thinking of Bing Crosby. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whoa.
Sorry. But he had the utmost respect for them. He was there, and Barbara Streisand was there, and Elliot Gould, and Dustin Hoffman, and Sammy Davis. Everybody was there. And the funny thing is that exactly 8 years later, Barbara Streisand would take the knowledge of the fight, of being at that event, and make it into a major motion picture
Oh,
called The Main Event, everybody's favorite.
look at that.
The repairing of Ryan O'Neal and Barbara Streisand. And that exact same year, Muhammad Ali would go on to do an episode of Different Strokes. Well, you see how things change in 8 years. Now, of course, this was my favorite episode, and my favorite scene of all time is this director telling the champ that he's done it incorrectly, that he's done his lines wrong. This is a behind the scenes. It's funny that we have Dana Plato in the picture, but yeah, somebody had to go up and like, champ, you did it pretty good, but here's the issue. The unenviable task of telling.
I'll say it the way I want to say it.
Exactly.
I can see Juskow being that guy. Oh, we loved your energy, but if you don't mind, just a little more Bing Crosby.
That's what I was gonna say. The only thing that's wrong with this picture is it wasn't me in that photo. I'd give anything for that to have been me. And then
Listen,
30
your
years later-
spirit, it was so fun. But if you could just channel Bob Hope just a whisper more.
I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Alley. Mr. Alley.
Yeah, Cassius.
You're
What'd
reading.
you say?
You're reading the script from Good Times.
Hi, I'm Juskow from Fun with Hanukkah. Hello. Hello.
This is because the oil lasted 8 days.
Well, I don't know about that. But the worst part about this is that they ripped off this entire thing where Arnold was sick and dying to get Muhammad Ali from the classic Brady Bunch episode where they called in Joe Namath because Bobby was dying.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I hope somebody got sued.
There's
for
no
ripping it
original
off.
ideas.
Exactly. And that's 20 years later or so. So I don't know whether you heard about this. In Oklahoma, they are putting out a bounty for Bigfoot. If you can bring him in, you get $2.1 million. Now, I talked about this about 3 weeks ago to a month ago. The only reason I bring it up again is because the bounty when we first talked about this was $25,000, and now they've upped it to $2.1 million.
Whoa,
That's enough for blowing hookers.
This is Oklahoma has to be the stupidest people on the planet. I'm sorry. I'm from Jersey. I have to say this. I mean, this is just ridiculous. We all know that Bigfoot was huge in the 70s when he took on the $6 million man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
In a 4-part season opener, a
Right.
ratings extravaganza. When we all worship Bigfoot and even went to see all those documentaries in the theaters with that 5 minute of footage that they made into an hour-and-a-half movie.
Yeah,
And,
there's
that was
2.1 million. A lot of GameStop owners is pitching into this GoFundMe.
Exactly. And the worst part is, Rachel, I know you don't know, but I know this looks ridiculous to you, but this was so popular they even came out with a bionic Bigfoot doll. I mean, I'm telling you,
Oh.
Bigfoot back then.
How
was
many
huge.
do you have, Dave?
What?
How many do you have?
I don't have this one. I have the $6 million man doll.
Of course.
You do have it. You do have it. You got a Steve Austin.
Oh, you damn right.
Yeah.
I was a big
That's-
fan of the bionic woman.
Which
Me
version
too.
do you
I
rub
found
one
her
out
very
to
attractive.
more?
What was
What'd
that,
you say?
Rach?
When Juskow, when you're rubbing one out, which one do you find is more arousing? You got to say it loud, guys, because he doesn't hear.
You mean of Bigfoot or the $6 million man?
Yeah, I want to know which one Juskow comes faster to.
Oh, it's Lee Majors, hands down.
Oh, okay.
It's
Thanks.
not even a question. Here's the other thing they have in Oklahoma to tell you how retarded they are. Oops, not supposed to use that word anymore, but
Too late.
Wow.
this is where the Tiger King has his park.
In Oklahoma.
In Oklahoma.
Mm.
It's just another thing. And then, of course, you can get your zombie hunting permit in Oklahoma as well.
They're geniuses. That's
they
what
are
they
very.
Stop telling them, calling them dumb. They're geniuses. This is
You're
brilliant.
right,
They're
I'm
bringing
sorry.
in lots of like money into the state by attracting idiots, but they're geniuses.
I suppose
Hey,
I didn't
don't
look at
knock
it the right way.
Yeah.
You're right, baby. Colin gets it. He just gets it.
Oh, hello.
Oh, I get it, honey.
Juan Epp is dead. I totally get it now. I'm so sorry. I was, I said Juan Epp the entire time, and then when I read it on the paper, I changed it to EP myself just now. I said Juan Epp the whole time.
Real
but I
fans
didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
How
Juan
long
Epp.
have you been doing the Juan Epp before?
Well, Juan Epp started in 2007. It ran to maybe 2014, 2015, and then there was a couple of hiatuses. We tried to bring it back. We did a big deal with this big company, and we brought it back, and they killed us again. So we just completely just started a new one, just called it Juan Epp is Dead.
Why did they? Who wouldn't want to hear a hip hop podcast? I'm saying, like, what?
They bought it from us, and they licensed it, and then they took our RSS feed. When in the podcast world, your subscription feed is everything you have to go off of, and then it got lost in a legal situation, and they owned it. And you said, you know what? Let's just start fresh. We sucked when we first started it. We'll just suck again, and we just brought it back. Juan Epp is Dead.
Cypha had to go underground.
Yes,
he's had
right,
too much hate. Right now, he's in his bunker.
That's right.
Cypha's dealt with, first of all, he's had to run from state to state to try to shake off puss, much like Colin. And he's dealt with a lot of hate. So that his name, why do you think his last name is Sounds?
First of all, my real name is Lewis. I don't know if you know that, Rachel. My real name is Lewis. Now, if any of you have ever seen the fabulous film Grease 2.
Of course. Are you kidding? We're going to score tonight.
The guy who had the bunker where he brought the girl and tried
Oh, my God. Right.
His name was Lewis.
Oh, my God. That song is the worst song in the movie. Isn't that like the song about America or something?
That's right. We're doing for America, man.
That's the girl from Fame.
Oh, she's famous. All right.
Yeah. Oh, God. I know that. I know that movie all too well, obviously. But
a better movie than Grease. White people hate when I say that, but it's a better movie.
Wow.
Okay, I'm not going to agree with you, but
not better music, not better music.
Okay.
A better movie.
Yeah, but who's afraid of Adrian Smed? I mean,
hey man, listen. Olivia Newton-John is way hotter than that Australian bitch.
I'm done with that.
Wait, Olivia Newton, you mean the other way around? Olivia Newton-John is way hotter than the American bitch.
Is it Kim Basinger? Who was in there?
No, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Michelle Pfeiffer is way hotter than Olivia Newton-John.
Oh, you're saying Michelle Pfeiffer's way hotter than the Australian?
I fucked it up, but you get what I'm saying.
I wasn't sure which way you meant it, but I'm going to say they're both really hot. Olivia
I think what he's trying to say is, what Cypha's trying to say is, them titties don't lie.
What I'm really trying to say is that I really like white girls, and I'm trying to appeal to them by talking about Grease.
It's a smart move. How did you find a Jew that knows so much about hip hop?
Oh God, this guy's the bane of my existence. He's from the DC area. His father's all up in the politics and shit, and he just loves hip hop.
About Rachel or this guy?
Oh, he
no,
grew up
Rachel.
near me. He grew up in he went to BCC. He grew up in.
You
Bethesda.
just mentioned everything that Rachel or dad.
Yeah, exactly. Rachel's father and Rosenberg's father definitely crossed paths somewhere.
Oh, that's
and I went on Rosenberg's show, Hip Hop Squares. He had me on because I'm from Bethesda, and I don't know, or maybe there was a secondary reason.
No, that was it. That was it.
He liked you,
but yeah, he loves hip hop, man. I love this guy so much.
What you're behind this thing? What is this very famous? Do you have a shoe line?
No, it's just,
what am I missing here?
It's a clothing line. Look at that. Look at my screen.
Yeah.
Veryfamousny.com. Thank you for the plug, Juskow.
You're welcome.
It's a phrase I use on stage, and it's taken off. The shirts are flying off the goddamn shelves. People love buying these shirts. Veryfamousny.com, because everybody's famous to somebody. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Everybody is famous to somebody. When you look in the mirror, that's a famous person to you, and you need to wear this shirt to support your own well-being.
Is that why Juskow said if I sit on his lap, that'll make me a star? It'll put me in the pictures?
Yes,
that's
of course.
exactly why. I told her that the
He
first
said
day I
all I
met
have
her.
to do is sit on his lap, and it's an audition in his apartment. If I do a good job of lap sitting, why, he'll make me a big picture star.
This is Rachel showing the picture she got off the milk carton that apparently it came off of. What the hell? Like, you don't have a decent photo to put on.
This is to promote your own show, right, Rachel?
Yes, but I did not make that flyer, but it is a fun-loving one.
Rachel, Jessica has a 100% professional photographer.
A crystal
took
clear
a picture.
2021 photo.
And Rachel's pictures from a cold case file.
Exactly.
Actually, I took that picture. I have the larger picture on my Instagram. There was a guy that fell asleep at a bar, and I kind of propped up next to him, and I put my ring up like this. I like to do the just got married shot with just some drunken, wet mess. You know, the guy that's like so drunk, he's kind of wet, just shining. He was just asleep at a bar like this, just like some guy just looks like he just like graduated tech or something. Some guy named Chad, and I propped up next to him, like, got him.
Well, Rachel, this show is every Sunday night, right?
Yes, on
You can
Zoom.
find tickets on Eventbrite. It's on Zoom. Who's your guest this week?
And
Don't
this
know yet?
week we have the great Bobby Kelly.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah.
I know that Rachel was doing this show on Super Bowl Sunday, and I'm like, you're not doing your show on Super Bowl Sunday, are you? And then she goes, yeah, why not? Our guest is Mateo Lane. And I'm like, okay, that all makes sense.
Yeah, that
That
makes
adds
perfect
up.
sense. Hey,
And here's
Rachel, I was
the-
supposed to do that show. Hook me up.
Now I did have you doing it, and you canceled twice.
Once.
You said you
I
had to
canceled
go.
once.
You said you had to go chase puss with Chappelle or something.
I had to cancel
Austin.
once. Oh, look
You guys
at
didn't
this.
bring me to a puss chasing? Fuck's sake.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at these Eagle Scouts on here.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going on with this, Rachel? I mean, it's all a girl stuff, but you got these two fellas on here, this one and this one over here. Who are these two fellas?
Who are you talking? Oh, they're fuck you, Juskow.
What?
Those are very funny comics on there. That's Fortune 5-star Lisa Lampanelli, Sherry Shepard, Jessica
Oh, they're
Curtis,
women.
Gold.
Uh-huh.
I won't read every single. I mean, I feel like now I'm starting to annoy people. Kathy,
I think I'm in this. They asked me to sign
Franklin.
something.
the Cellar's own. Oh yeah. You were in the scene as like there was like this dark part where certain guys try to take us down, but we persevere, you know, and they beat us down our egos. And oh yeah, you're the comedy club owner. I'm about to go on stage, and you grab me by my neck and say, "Listen, I don't want you on that stage unless you're going to be wiping it down. Do we understand? Capiche?" And then I say, "But I don't even think you work here or own this place." And then you just run out the window. You jump out
Put
of
down the mic stand and grab a mop.
He says, "Let me tell you what you skirts are good for. Do
They
I
asked me
make
to-
myself clear or am I speaking Spanish? All right, Puritans?"
Gee, I hope I'm not depicted truly that way. I
And
know
I
they
think-
asked me to sign something. I think I have something. I'm in some sort of scene.
The future of comedy is female.
Remember, I just said to you, I'd like my intro to just say you might have seen her on Comedy Central. And then you said this pair of cans apparently has some hole she uses to talk with.
Wow.
Sorry
Wow.
about that. You're right.
It's
I
not
did say
cool,
that.
Dave.
You're not
It's
supposed to
not.
say
Wow.
that live.
I
No,
didn't
it's not
feel
cool.
safe when you said that.
Cypha,
Yeah.
this was Sunday, I think, when Donald Trump talked for the first time in Orlando. Cypha, what does this scene remind you of? Which movie does this scene remind you of?
Oh no.
I was asking you. It just came to me immediately as soon as I saw it.
Oh, I don't see it.
Does it remind you of Morris Day and the time in
that's
Purple
good
Rain?
What?
Nothing? That's what came to me immediately, where he's always looking in the mirror.
No, well, here's the problem, Juskow. I never saw Purple Rain.
Oh, really? I
No,
just assumed you did.
I'm too busy watching Grease 2 all the time.
Well, that's around
Wait,
the
go
same
back?
time period. That's why I assumed you saw
Go
it.
back to Trump. Oh, that's a mirror.
It's
Oh,
a
I
mirror,
see.
yeah.
Oh,
I guess
wow,
I should have
yeah.
made that clear.
I get it.
Yeah,
Now.
Morris Day, Jungle Love.
Yes.
Oh, EO.
EO.
He always had a mirror. It was my favorite part of the movie. I'm like, that's brilliant. I'm like, I want to do that in every show I ever do. This is Bruno Mars begging the Grammys to let him perform, which made me so
Whoa.
angry that he has to beg the Grammys. I hate the Grammys. The Grammys
Uh-huh.
always get it wrong.
Yeah.
But this guy, Bruno Mars, who's a major talent,
Yeah.
won it all only 3 years ago. He won Record of the Year, Album of the Year, Song of the Year, R&B Album of the Year.
Yeah.
And he's begging to get back 3 years.
Why won't they let him on?
I have no idea.
I mean, is he promoting something new?
I don't know. But if he
he has a
promoting
song with
something
Anderson
new.
.Paak,
Yes,
right?
He's got a new band, Silk Sonic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe, but I would say let him do what he wants. He won the Grammy. He won it all 3 years ago. He's a good guy. He's talented. Just let him do whatever he wants. Nobody ever begs to be on the Grammys. He's like he's putting it out there.
Isn't The Rock his dad?
I can understand if you like your 40 years you want, like Toto won 40 years ago or 30 years ago, whatever. They won it all, right? And so if they could be like, well, dudes, I mean, you know how it is. It's right. You can see if they did it. Meanwhile, Africa is still like one of the most popular songs of all time. So if they came on and begged to play Africa, I mean, you could be like, well, I guess. Here's the weird part, though.
What did you say?
This is Rachel Feinstein performing with Toto in Copenhagen. For some reason, I can't figure it out. Rachel, do you know why? Why were you performing with Toto?
Wait, well, how did you do that?
Why are there cigarette butts on your
It
nips?
looks exactly like you.
Oh, I thought that was.
Except
God, I look like. I know
she's
I'm
a little too big, but isn't that funny? It looks just like her. No,
I thought it was me, but like in even horrier outfit.
You've worn outfits like this before.
I've worn
You wore it
things
on
that
your
are close
special.
to that. Yes, but I was like that. But the tittage situation was confusing me.
Well, actually, she doesn't have as good. Well, let's just you're better.
Compare Rex. That's a good way to close out the show.
The day after International
Rack
Women's Day,
comparing.
it's a perfect way to close out the show.
I
but
give
didn't-
these cans a C, but yours, sweetheart, yours are maybe a B minus. Anyway, this next comic, you may have seen her on pointlesshole.com. Has she got some zany fun joke lines for you?
Well, we have come to the time of our show where we have Colin play a song. Colin, what do you have for us today?
Well, I was going to play an old favorite of mine, but I'm going to play a new song because to celebrate Cypha's amazing clothing line and our lovely city.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, Colin Smith, everybody, with a new one.
Dope. Yeah, it's a fucking new one.
Going all the way back to 2021. Here's Colin Smith.
All right. I hope I remember the lyrics. That when I disappeared for a second there, I went to find my little notebook, but I couldn't find it. So here we
Nobody
go.
cares, Colin. They're just looking at you in your white beater shirt. Don't
They're
worry
looking
about
at my
it.
tits. Okay. Oh shit! I should have tuned. Hold on. So anyway, there was this one time.
Ugh, he had nothing but all week to do this.
Wow. It's a nightly show, right?
No, it's only once a week. That's the
Okay.
gag.
Okay.
This a little.
Hey, Rachel, didn't Colin gag you once?
It was the best night of our lives. I got a view. I walk a couple blocks too. Of a river that you can't swim in, and a city the whole world lives in, and it's got veins pumping people and trains. They're the source of the hypertension, everyone the center of attention. And anytime I get down, I look at her and drink it in. 'Cause New York is the best town of anywhere I've ever been. New York is the best town around. She's not much for sleep, and no one's ever called it cheap. But for once a little less frantic, since the herd thinned in the panic. Yeah, you got out, but you still dream about the silhouettes and the bridges. It damn near makes you religious. And then I lay my head down, I look at her from up above. I see New York is the best town. There's so fucking much to love. New York is the best town around. I I don't remember all of it, but time of my life doesn't cover it. You can forget about it. And when I lay my head down, I look at it from up above. I see New York is the best town. There's so fucking much to love. New York is the best town. It is the best town. Ooh, the best town around.
Woohoo!
That
Wow.
was incredible.
How do you feel the Prime Minister of Ireland behind you thinks about that song?
That was worth being late for Sam's show. And
I like that you use the word fucking in it. I appreciate it.
I love that, man. Thank you.
That was great,
Thank you,
Colin.
brother.
That was incredible.
Thanks.
You're better than all of us, Colin.
Well, Rach, what do you have anything coming up? I think things are opening up. I know you've been performing. You were in Baltimore last week. What do you got coming up live performance?
In Minneapolis at Acme Comedy Club this week.
Oh.
And the 11th through the 14th. And you could go see more of my stuff. Just follow me on Instagram. I promote a lot there. Rachel Feinstein _
In Minneapolis, what's the story there? Are they 50% or still 30 or are
like
they
a third capacity? So they do like distance masked seating and all that kind of stuff. So
are people in there? Are they masked when they're in the audience? Like, I mean, you know, do you have to keep masked while you're watching the show? Or are you allowed to take off your mask once you sit down and start drinking?
They drink or have a bite of food, but
then you have to keep putting it back on. I'm asking.
You know, I can't really go through their specific. I don't know exactly, but I'm assuming that it's.
Jessica, do you think she got a part-time job working in the comedy club in the protocol
I'm
department?
just curious because she's the only one of us that has performed live in front of like in an indoor place since the thing.
Most indoor places, it's like they
how it
seat a
works.
third capacity, they distance everybody, and they
It's usually
some of
when you
them that
walk
people wear
around.
masks, and sometimes they
Yeah.
just take it down when they drink. Yeah, like it's but
Like if you get up from your seat and walk around, you got to put on your mask.
No,
But
that
in your
I
seat-
understand. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, I know when you go to dinner, you can take off your mask and you can eat. I wasn't sure how it works at a comedy club. That's all. Cypha, what do you have any live shows coming up?
Yeah, I got tons of live shows, man. What are you talking about?
Well, would you like to promote them?
No, I don't want your bum ass crowd coming to my show.
Proper order.
I'm going to what is that town? Where's that place? Where's the Puerto Rican guy that was in Ohio that was keeping those women in his basement? Where was that again?
David Elliott Juskow.
It was
Central Jersey. It was his mom's house.
I'm going
it was Temple Beth-Shanai.
I'm going to Columbus tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, and then Saturday I'm out in Connecticut, stand up New York. Me and my friend Will Sylvans. We're at BJ Ryan's. What town is that? That's in Norwalk, Connecticut. But just follow me at Cypha Sounds. More importantly, do this. veryfamousny.com. That will help me feed my children.
Oh, I didn't know you had children.
Yeah, I got the kiddos.
Yeah, there are a couple kids in my neighborhood. Who gives a shit? Anyway, and Colin, what do you
Yes.
have? Didn't you have a new single
gonna be
coming
in-
out? or
Yeah,
something?
that's I got one coming out next month. But in the meantime, I'm working with this company. I'll be singing with the Huntsville Symphony Orchestra in Alabama on
Oh.
March 20th.
So things are coming together for everybody.
I heard Huntsville's a fun town. Have fun.
Thanks, bud.
No, I'm being serious. I'm not.
This is Austin Jane and Hunts.
No, I heard Huntsville is fun.
I would not have
I mean,
thought
if they
that.
got a symphony orchestra, there must be something happening.
Yeah.
I guess. Well, folks, that is our show for this evening. Don't forget that the Comedy Cellar will reopen on April 2nd. And every night you can go and hang out with some of the comics and have wings, delicious wings, and dinner there at the Cellar. Next week on our show right here On Tuesdays at 7 o'clock, we will have from Fox News, we will have Tom Shalhoub and Jamie LaBella will be joining us. That ought to be a completely different kind of show than this week. So join us for that. As otherwise, everybody stay safe. And I hope everybody can get vaccinated. And sooner or later, we can all be together live in person.
Yes,
thank you, Rachel and Cypha and Colin, for joining us. And we'll see you next week here, 7 o'clock on the Comedy
Thanks,
Cellar Nightly Show.
guys.